While filming in Philadelphia, we paid a visit to the historic Wilmington and Brandywine Valley, which is an area that is considered part of America's garden capital, boasting over 30-plus public gardens within a short distance from one another. While there, we stayed at the historic Fairville Inn in Chaddsford, PA, which was built in the early 1800s and is on the National Register of Historic Places. While in the area, we had a brief stop at Longwood Gardens, which had been highly recommended to me, but I never was able to find the time to visit. Though our time there was brief, we had an opportunity to see some of their natural areas, many of the historic structures, and their conservatory, including their new Orchid house. The conservatories were packed, however, so we'll likely have to visit off hours when it's a bit quieter.
Peirce's Woods is something that they recommended, so that's here. Where are we? Visitor Center, so we're here. So Peirce's Woods should be right here.
To the right.
Then there's the Conservatory, so that's in the completely different direction over here. So should we go to Peirce's Woods first?
Okay.
This looked like it had a copper roof too, see, but it went green. I like this stone too, because it's like got that crystal.
This tree.
I know.
Cool shape.
And this one is massive. This is Kianadoxa. This one I think we do have. Yeah. Oh, this is rad though. Look at these trees. So this is a Chinese scholar's tree. This is the same one that we saw at the Botanic Gardens that had the yellow stems and they had a really interesting bark. And remember I said, oh, we should pay attention to this tree, but obviously this is a much older tree and the bark has completely shifted. But I had never seen it before and they get really beautiful flowers on as well. So it's not a native tree, but it's really impressive. So this is actually an eastern redbud, the Cercis canadensis, but this is a cultivar called Alba. So instead of getting those really rich purple red flowers, this is going to get white flowers. And the flowers come before the leaves. But we're a little too early. You can just see them budding out right now. Those are the flowers coming out. And they're going to be white.
Flowers first, then leaves.
Flowers first, then leaves. And we're a little early, so we're not going to see many flowers. This is a silver bell. So these get bell-like white flowers. And I actually just got one of these from Go Native Nursery, I believe. I ordered one. So this will be a really pretty tree.
You hold your hand so I can see the...
Yeah. I actually wonder if these are sedges, like clumped up. Oak leaf hydrangea. This is one of the plants that we had planted but was eaten by deer. So I'm not sure if this is going to come back on our land this year. Shagbark hickory, that is one of the trees that we have a lot of on our land. And I'm looking into getting more hickory, which we just ordered from Go Native Nursery. And then this is anemones, which I planted, I think about a half dozen of these. These are in the Ranunculaceae family, which is the buttercup family. And I also bought seeds of these, so we'll see if the seeds come up. But I did actually buy, 6 plants. And obviously if you go with seeds, they're a little less expensive, so. But I did plant these right before it frosted, so I'm sure like some of them actually got toasted.
So will they then come up later?
Yeah, they'll come back. Seems like they are going with a lot of shagbark hickory here. Flowering dogwood. This is the Cornus florida. So these are ones that look like they get white flowers, but they're actually bracts. And this is our native dogwood, but oftentimes in the trade you'll see Cornus cusa, and that's an Asian dogwood, but looks very similar to Cornus florida. American elm, Ulmus americana. Now this is a tree that has pretty much vanished from a lot of our forests. So this one has also had a blight, but they have now had more blight-resistant ones as well. So that is one tree that I have planted in our forest, but just one of them I've only planted, so I'd like to actually plant some more. This one's a big sugar maple. So we have sugar maple in the lower part of the land, and this is something that they ended up tapping for syrup here. Sweet bay magnolia, one of our native trees. We have some hollies back here. And then rhododendrons. We have quite a few native rhododendrons, and rhododendrons and mountain laurels are really popular in Pennsylvania. I don't see them in New York as much, but I think we should, I think our environment, our soil environment, and probably the acidity of our soil is actually going to be great for establishing mountain laurels and rhododendrons. So if you see these, this red stem, this is also some of our native dogwoods. This is like a red twig dogwood, and typically you get them cut back so they could start developing those red stems again, because all the new growth is red.
Well, you'd never be able to get this close to them in our pond.
No, not at all. People must feed them. Look at that little like wiggly thing.
Don't twist this camera.
Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness sakes. It's so cool.
Right there in the water.
They're like little dogs. Oh, look at this American beech. Holy mother of God. That is so huge. It looks like it has some beech bark disease too, though. See how it's like starting to rumple up? It's such a great tragedy that the forest had been cut.
Yeah, even if they left a couple trees, it would probably
Yeah.
be fine.
This is not native, this is Peirce japonica, but they have really cool flowers, similar to like a blueberry. They might actually be in the same family. But this is sad too, right? Like, why does somebody need to go and do that? Is that a musclewood? That musclewood is large.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just pointed it out. And
You did?
Over there.
Oh.
It's like musclewood.
Oh, this is a possible tree. Oxydendrum arboreum in the heath family, sourwood. I heard that could be a really good tree, and I think that might be good for our area. And all these rhododendrons. I'd love to see this in our landscape, and they give beautiful flowers. Here's some of these eastern hemlocks we have. Oh, these are all crocuses. You see these little striped leaves? So we're kind of stepping on early crocus blooms. So one of their management practices in order to establish an area and maintain an area is to start a fire, controlled burn. And that's what we're actually seeing here. So Patricia, whom we know here at Longwood, had mentioned that they just burned this yesterday. But we were at Mount Cuba Center, and they said they had burned their area a week ago, and it was already coming back green. So this just gives you a sense of the scale and what it looks like.
The stroll through the woods on the outskirts of Longwood was a quieter experience than around the buildings and the conservatory. We particularly enjoyed the architecture of Longwood Gardens, and we were surprised to see the Peirce DuPont house because we had been discussing the possibility of eventually building a greenhouse aviary that connects two small homes on either end. This house was basically a grander scaled version of what we were originally envisioning. The conservatory was a packed house, so we'll just show highlights here until we can get back another time.